There's a new interview actually. There's a new interview courtesy of Stay Grounded TV. Big up Stay Grounded TV. They posted this clip from, I think it's Woody v Pappy podcast. I used to listen to this back in the day. I'm not gonna lie. That was probably one of the first sort of like streetwear adjacent podcasts I used to tune into. But I haven't listened to it in a while. I think because they kept taking long breaks. I think two of the guys got really good jobs. I think one of them was working for Nike. One of them looks like he's doing some stuff for Adidas, I think, or I don't know. But I think they both kind of, started to do bits in the industry, so they stopped doing the podcast. But I really liked it. They used to cover a lot of Kanye shit when he was, not as unhinged as he is now, unfortunately. That was quite good. And just loads of like culture, fashion sort of stuff, similar to what I do here. But I think they kind of did it earlier, maybe even before me. But they sat down recently and interviewed TREMAINE Emory, actually, of Denim Tears. So I want to see or kind of hear what he had to say. So I actually downloaded the clips on my computer.
I'll see sometimes in the comments, it's like, yo, you're profiting off of black pain. Did anyone ever tell Steven Spielberg he was profiting off of Jewish pain for making Schindler's List? He got paid to do that. There was a budget.
Yeah. I don't like that whataboutism, to be honest. Like, just answer the question. Are you profiting off black pain? Yes. Do you feel like you're allowed to because other people profit off their pain? Yes, but it doesn't justify you profiting off black pain, But I guess that's part of the brand. Profiting off black pain, but also uplifting black people by reminding them of their pain and sort of saying, hey, look how far we've come, look how much work we have to do, look at all the greats that came before us. So I guess that's part of the brand. You kind of have to talk about the pain if you want to uplift. But I don't know. Part of me just thinks, I don't know. Let's just continue.
Liam Neeson got paid. Yeah. They made money. It was a prop. Like, all the money didn't go to Holocaust survivors. Mm-hmm. There's the film that came out called Zone of Interest.
Yeah.
Another great film.
Yeah.
That was a for-profit film. So do you see Jewish people saying, oh, Steven Spielberg or this director is profiting off of Jewish pain? That's a painful fucking movie, what they're talking about. But it's also enlightening. So
not that really enlightening. It wasn't really that good. Zone of Interest was very, very overrated. I got kind of bored watching it. I'm not going to lie. It was very overrated. And I don't know. I'm kind of bored. I'm bored of Holocaust survivor movies. I'm bored of Nazi movies. I'm bored of slavery movies. I'm bored of all those movies. Honestly, personally for me, maybe at this point, especially if there's so many great storytellers around, there's so many great independent thinkers, so many great creative minds who've been able to build brands, amass some bit of wealth. You owe it to yourself to maybe tell some far more interesting stories, as opposed to just slavery sort of stuff. Like, look at Tyler Perry, insult him for much as you want for the quality of the movies, but at least he tells his type of black stories through movies, like it's not just about slavery. It's mostly kind of stories he kind of, plucks from his community, his family, things that he's overheard, and he kind of puts them on the big screen, puts his money where his mouth is. But it's almost a way of like kind of uplifting, African Americans in that regard, because you're seeing people that look like yourself on the big screen on a constant basis. And, he's got his own studio, whatever else he does. I think that's fucking cool. So I would like to see Tremaine maybe doing more of that sort of stuff. But again, you can't tell somebody how to, run their brand. So if he feels like black pain is a integral part of black history and black future, or, African American people, so I was going to say black people overall, because I think it's really an African American thing, then fair play. I just find it really funny when he speaks like this, and the majority of people that you see on the streets wearing denim tears, especially the cotton reef shit, are just, Chinese university students and fucking white kids. That's the really funny bit. Like, don't get me wrong, sick brand. I like the denim tears. I love the fucking pattern. I think what he's done is fucking great, because like Heron Preston, I don't think denim, Tremaine is all that talented fashion wise. I think he's more of an idea, creative communication type of guy. But the fact that he's been able to build denim tears to where it's at the moment is fucking sick. Him and Heron Preston deserve a lot of credit, because I've never, I didn't think they were fashion guys, but they were able to do it in a big way. Cool, kudos. But it is hilarious to hear him speaking like this, right? Speaking, from this point of view, and the majority of people that you see wearing denim tears on the streets, at least in London, maybe in America it's different, but I honestly see way more people that are not black wearing the brand. And, the cotton reef is very heavy. The symbolism behind it, the meaning behind it, it's just hilarious to me. I just find that hilarious. But again, What do I know?
I don't want to go into people's hearts and souls. They're like, how's he black and pro-black, but he's married to a white woman?
That's a valid question. It doesn't need to be answered. You don't need to answer it. You don't need to explain your dating choices, but being this aggressively pro-black and talking about black issues and basically crashing out on Supreme because they wouldn't let you put a very, racially charged and very graphic image of somebody that was whipped on the box logo, which probably would have been quite sick in a way. I think it would have banged, but Supreme, maybe didn't want to do it at that point in time. But being that kind of person, and the cotton reef, everything else included, the music, the books that he recommends and shit, and then marrying a very, 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 very white lady, it's just funny. Don't need to talk about it anymore. It doesn't need to be explained. You can't really explain it because nothing you're going to say is going to make it sound okay. It's just funny. It just is. It's like AOC, right? She bangs on about white men bad, and look at her fiance. It's just hilarious. It just is. It's not a bad thing. It's just funny. But let's see what he has to say.
And because he do this and he does that, and it's just like, yo, like, this is basic tenets of humanity. Like, what you are is who you define yourself on. And because you read Malcolm X doesn't mean you can't fall in love with a fucking white Irish woman that was there for you at your bedside while you was fighting for your life for 3 months. And she sat there every night with you and slept on a lazy boy when she could have been doing anything else. And
that's sweet and that's amazing. Sure, she's you don't marry somebody because they don't hold you down, but you're still missing the point of why people think it's funny, or why people kind of poke fun at it, or why people look at you a bit sideways for dating somebody else white based on how you talk and how you run your brand. Again, if in my opinion, I think he doesn't need to talk about it. He doesn't need to approach it. Doesn't need to address it. Who you fall in love with, who you decide to marry, who you decide to start a family with is nobody's business. And I personally think, you can be rah-rah black power and still marry who the fuck you want. Who you fall in love with isn't really up to you. You can fall in love with anybody at any point in time, especially someone like himself who's, fairly affluent, is able to travel the world, be in different places. You're going to cross paths with many different people. You know what I mean? You're going to get out of your little bubble. So you're prone to kind of bump into somebody who you probably didn't expect, and then boom, you fall in love. Allegedly, I think he'd met this lady at Supreme. So during his worst time in his career, when he's kind of getting ill and he's not going well at Supreme, he also meets the love of his life. Cool. Congratulations to you. But it doesn't move away from the point that it is quite funny that you are pro-rah-rah black guy talking about black issues, BLM this, but then you married, a super white woman. It just is what it is. It's not a bad thing. It just is what it is.
I'm not going to be like, you know what? I love her, but she don't look like me, so I'm not going there. I just don't give a fuck about making anyone happy other than people that care about me and myself. I just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say you don't give a fuck when you're talking about it, but maybe he has to talk about it because people keep mentioning it, but
So when people start saying I hate black women, or like I don't love black women because my wife's not black, then I'm like, oh, I'm never going to show all the black women I got working for me.
Yeah, go take the boat again.
I'm going to pay them, though. I'm going to pay them really well.
It's funny though, isn't it? Not a lot of black women stood up for him, and I don't know. I don't know the guy too well, but I'd love to see his. I'd love to find out. What the ex-girlfriends look like. I bet they. But again, it doesn't matter really. It's just funny how he's trying to defend it. It's just fucking hilarious. It just really is hilarious. It's just something people are laughing at online. It sounds good on Twitter. Oh my god, this guy's saying this, but look who he's married to. It's just funny, it's just funny. And maybe some people won't take him seriously. Like, I don't really see how that makes sense when people are like, oh, you can't be pro-black and then marry outside your race. I think that's a bit weird because, like I said, I think love is just one of those. It's like friends. You don't just have friends that are just, from your own. I don't know. Or maybe some people do. Maybe some people do only try to have friends that are the same race as them. I don't think that's the truth though. But I think friendship, similar to love, you can't, help who you become friends with. You cross paths with somebody who maybe sometimes your greatest friendships are people that are not the same race as you and come from completely different walks of life, but you have this weird kinship and connection. So I can see why that can be the case. But I think, again, him explaining it or trying to rationalize it is just making it worse in my opinion. But what do I know?
And we're going to they're gonna get, they get their clothing allowance, and they get paid well, and they get raises, and they get treated well, and they get seen. I have them they sit and tell, they tell my white wife, yo, when I was at this other company, I won't say the company's name, I wasn't seen there. Tremaine sees me.
They tell my white wife. They tell my white wife. Yo, why does he talk honestly, man? This is why you have to be careful what jobs you go to, because I think that Supreme job, it really broke him, man. I don't think he was like this. Again, I didn't know the guy too well, but I knew of him in London, and I had some friends that were closer to him, and he always came across really chill, really cool. I think that Supreme job really fucking broke him, and he's not been the same since. Or maybe life, maybe Virgil, maybe his own illness, maybe parent stuff, family stuff, who knows? But it's a shame to see him sound like this, man. Like,
all that, because you brought it up, I'll talk about it. I'm just like, cool. I hate black women. I don't, this, that, and the third, because wife is what. Cool. Then I'm not even talking. That's just how I'm on it. Yeah. I think I kind of get that from my mom. Like, my mom would do stuff and just, you wouldn't even know she did it.
Again, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about there, but whatever, man.
Someone was banging on my Instagram about, I posted a teaser yesterday about me and Cactus's collab coming out.
By the way, the Cactus Plant Flea Market collab with Denim Tears was decent, but very underwhelming. I wonder why there wasn't much more than what we saw. Maybe the standout pieces or maybe the t-shirt and stuff, but very underwhelming for what it was. I would have actually liked to have seen that do-rag that they made on the t-shirt design actually sold. That would have been quite sick. But yeah, very underwhelming collaboration, unfortunately.
Next week on Friday, and I posted one of the images of the artwork her and I created, she created and I created, where it's like Africa inside the United States and United States inside of Africa.
Yeah, I thought that graphic was really strong. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that graphic was really strong. It kind of reminded me of that Supreme hat that I wear from, like, I think the Supreme hat I have is from like fall winter 2015 or something. That's got the continent of Africa and it's got King of Kings. I thought that was really cool. It almost similar to a vibe. I love that t-shirt. I'm not gonna lie. That graphic was really smart, really clever graphic.
Okay. And someone's like, what do you do to help black people? What charity you doing? It's like, guess what? You'll never know. You'll never know. Yeah. Everyone knows I used to do the stuff for Every Mother Counts. I am no longer talking about any charity, anyone I helped put through college, or any of that shit. You guys will never know. Go and just say that I'm a fucking capitalist fucking bastard that every dollar I just spend on myself. Cool. Think that. I'm never telling you niggas.
Yo, that's what
I don't mind this approach. I'm not gonna lie. I just think saying that you're never telling people while you're talking about it just defeats the purpose. So I don't mind the approach. I think that's, to be fair, I kind of prefer him when he's just talking about design and culture and art and stuff and cool guy things. I think when he starts to opine about racial issues, social issues and shit, he kind of, unfortunately, for lack of a better term, again, not to be offensive to the guy, he does sound kind of dumb, in my opinion anyway. His view on stuff is very narrow. And yeah, just considering the way he moves, it kind of, it's a little bit disingenuous and stuff. But again, I know I'm not really the most rah-rah person either, so I don't really know what I'm talking about. But I think this is actually a good approach to go about things. Just keep it to yourself. If you help people in private, and you are doing what you're doing and you feel good about it, then cool. You don't need to justify it to the public. So I'm all for that. I don't mind that in the slightest.
By me posting a picture of so-and-so and writing in the caption, and I donated this much money, or I put this person through school, that's me saying, yeah, I'm a witch. And you know what I mean? I'm admitting.
Yeah, what?
I'm admitting, and look, I'm making it right.
And I'm gonna say
I'd rather just do what I've been doing my whole life.
Yep.
And never fucking tell y'all. And y'all can continue and hang me every day on the internet.
But that's not true though, isn't it? The whole reason why he's famous and the whole reason why he's done well is because, like Virgil, he showed everything online. I think that's something that, a lot of us creatives will probably need to learn off of these guys. They learned all in public. They learned aloud. Like Kanye is probably the master of it, like always showing his research, always showing his work, and that's how they became who they are, right? Always being seen, always being in the cool places, being with the cool people, putting all their ideas out on social media, talking like they already made it, maybe when they haven't, and then people kind of respond to you in that sort of way. So it works really well. So now to suddenly be like, oh, I'm going to be not talking. It's like, bro, your whole brand was talking about things. Now because the response on the internet isn't what you want it to be, isn't what you would hope it to be. Now all of a sudden, I'm not going to say nothing. It's like, I guess, innit? I guess. But, maybe the people that you need your help or you want to help are maybe the ones that are suffering. Because it seems like he's doing this to appease or to, placate himself from the haters. But it's like you're also then hurting the people that need the help, because maybe they like seeing that stuff that you post about other people that motivates them to continue their studies, to continue pushing, doing what they're doing. I don't know. It just seems a little bit strange, but if it works for him, it works for him. Last one here from Tremaine, then we'll move on.
I seen comments of people making fun of me walking with a cane, like when I got married, and the video kind of went viral, and like, why is he walking like that, and this, that, and the third. So I'm just like, I'm not giving y'all.
Social media is fucking horrible, man. He had an aneurysm, right? He nearly died. He was in hospital for a while. The pictures of him in GQ, like he looked really like on death's door. I think there's pictures of him with his shorts, and you see his legs are super, I forgot what the word is, but I think muscle atrophy. Like his legs look really skinny. You can tell like sickly skinny. He lost a lot of muscle mass from the time he was ill and shit, couldn't move, had to learn how to walk. So it is quite mean that the internet would do that. But again, he should know Wagwan, because he's not well liked on social media because of the fallout with Supreme and how he spoke about certain things and whatnot. Do you know what I mean? It just is what it is, which is a real shame, because there was a time when everyone was rooting for Tremaine. Like even when he got the Supreme job, I felt like there's a lot of like good response to him getting it. But as soon as he got it and he started to like not act like he was happy to have the job, maybe because he wasn't happy to get the job when he finally did get it anyway, people turned on him so quickly, which is a real shame, because I felt like he was like the second people's champion, but it hasn't really panned out that way, unfortunately. Even though the brand is successful, I feel like his public perception it's been the worst it's ever been. But he doesn't care, allegedly.
My intimate life for y'all just to like come at my neck. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
y'all don't deserve it because you don't care about me.
Nah, that's real.
Y'all kind of care about the art I make. But
why would they care about you? No one should care about anybody on social. They don't know you, bro. You know what I mean? Like, why would random people on the internet care about you? They care about the work you put out, and then when you start putting out work that they don't like or they don't want anymore, and then you start to annoy them, then they get extra toxic. But no one cares about huh? They don't care about me. They don't, like, of course. Like, what did you, again, lack of self-awareness is fucking wild. I'm surprised he doesn't know why people don't like him and just say, I get it, but I don't give a fuck, and then just continue, kind of leaning into it. I think he kind of thinks in his head he's the good guy. He's coming at it with pure intentions, and people should know how he's, the goodness of his heart and giving the benefit of the doubt. But it's the internet, man. People don't know you.
I don't care about me.
Yeah, that's real.
You call me a cynic? Y'all don't care about me.
That's real.
It's not real at all. What he needs around him is real friends. But when you're that clouded up, people around you just are gonna let you say what you want to say. And just be like, yeah, that's real, because, you're a famous dude, you make good clothes, you make cool clothes, you got connections and shit. Standing next to you, increases their clout, it increases their amount of likes they get on their pictures and shit. So no one's ever going to be real with this guy anyway. Maybe he doesn't want that either, but, it's just a shame, man. Like I said, I knew this guy loosely from London, and he was quite cool, but something happened, I don't know what, and he's turned into the person that he is now. But, I'm still here for the clothes. I can always separate the art from the artist, and I like the clothes. I like some of the collabs he does. Like, I still think that one he did with Our Legacy, where he did loads of Tupac Shakur inspired pieces, was really fucking cool. There's still a lot of room for the brand to grow. I still think the fucking Cotton Reef logo design, pattern design is fucking genius. That Marc Jacobs tote bag that just dropped recently was fucking superb. So yeah, I'm a big fan of it. I still wear the Converses. I got fucking 3 pairs of Converses. I'm that much of a loser. I've got 3 pairs. I've got 2 highs and 1 low that I wear all the time. So yeah, I'm a big fan of the brand. It's just, it's just unfortunate that, he is the way he is now, but maybe it's the industry. The industry kind of turned him into a cynic, turned him into a little bit of an annoying, hard to like person, hard to root for person, and it kind of is what it is. So big up Tremaine Emery regardless. Hopefully it works out for the guy, but I'm assuming the comment section of this post on Stay Grounded will not be fun or not be fair to him in the morning. Let's see what people are saying already here. Some of the comments already from people on Stay Grounded. It's also actually a good movie. Oh, that's about Zone of Interest. I disagree. We don't feel sorry for you, some person says here. Another person says digging the deeper hole with his response. Another person here says if Spielberg released Schindler's List re-edited every other month and expected you to pay for it, I'm sure the reaction would be the same. The audacity of the comparison is hilarious. That's a funny point. Another person here says he low-key just needs to move forward and be quiet with a little taste. That's actually a good point. But I don't think he wants to do that. He wants to keep talking. So, you know, it is what it is. He's spitting. I can't lie. Nah, this fool ain't ready for the debate. Can't compare movies to clothes. I always thought that argument was dumb because at the end of the day, he's black too. But this response sounds dumb as hell. Someone said in the stream chat, big up the stream chat, big up Coiler. Coiler said he's not that smart. What, his guy's one big fart. Big up Uche, him not liking me is the worst pain of my life. So even my stream chat aren't the biggest fans of Tremaine. And it seems like the comment section that stay grounded aren't the biggest fans of him either. Sellouts, refund, refuse, ask people to manager. Bro talks like a muppet. Only sheep-minded people don't like him. Cool. So the opinions are split. We'll see what happens in the morning. But big up Tremaine on that regard. I guess we'll see if it works out for him. I guess we'll see if it works out for the guy. We have to take it one step at a time. But yeah, it's looking kind of mad. It's looking kind of mad. But again, what do I know?